Hello, internet people. So we're down in the woodworking barn today because my wife decided to buy chickens. We need a chicken coop. And to me and my family, chicken coops are a little bit expensive. And I have 28 acres of hardwood timber, 30 acres hardwood timber. So a mill is necessary. Looked into having a guy come out with a portable mill, and while the prices aren't unreasonable, it's not in the budget. So, I looked at all the usual suspects for a bandsaw mill. I'd really like a wood miser. Hell, I'd even take the Harbor Freight one. But again, just not in the budget. So, step down again. You go to the Alaskan mill, and they're very affordable. You go to Amazon and you get the jigs and whatnot, and they're not jigs, but the brackets. Sorry for the noise. It's hot. I gotta have the door open. Got fans going too. Anyway, you can find all the stuff on there. And sure, if all you want to do is slab ends off and use the logs for stuff, you just want two flat sides on the logs, they make some $30 ones that travel 2x6s, 2x4s, and you just shim those up and go. It's not really what I wanted. And honestly, I don't have the right power head for a chainsaw mill. So I'm gonna end up using the wrong power head, which is a smart thing to do. I got a steel 362, which it's kind of small, but I'm gonna stay with small logs anyway, nothing over maybe 12-inch diameter. And I was looking at different people's DIY Alaskan chainsaw mills, and I really like Izzy Swan's. Bought the plans. I think it was 20 bucks, 18 bucks, something. I don't remember what it was. It was less than $30. I like a lot of the stuff he makes. I think it's cool looking. His plans are pretty straightforward. I'm not going to show you all the plans, but let's turn the camera around. This is the setup I got from watching his videos. This is his initial setup. This is his start point. I think he calls it the $50 chainsaw mill. So far, we've got a lot of pre-cuts that got to get screwed together. And I've got 4. They are a little wonky, but most of this is because of the floor and whatnot. But I've got 4 runners instead of the 3 that the plans call for, because I'm using 10 foot long and not 8 foot long for the sled track. I might actually extend it out to 12 foot, but I'm going to try it right now because this stack here, these guys are 10 footers. And if you notice, these guys aren't pretty and these guys aren't pretty. Hold on a sec. All right, turn the camera back around. So basically, I also turned this into a scrap wood challenge, and this is leftover 2x6s from and when we bought the property, the barn we have that holds the tractors, we call it tractor barn, they were using it for livestock, and they had it all cordoned off with 2x6 wood fencing, and I went through and renegotiated how I wanted it so that it was more open space and I could use it to store the trailer and the tractors and all that kind of good stuff. So this is all leftover. I was going to use it to build one of those 4-slat decorative fences along my driveway because I thought it would look cool. I mean, I got nothing but grass along my driveway, and this is going to be more useful for it. They say feed store was running a deal on chickens last weekend for $1 a piece, so wife went and bought 8. They're living out of a dog crate right now. Luckily they're little. They're only 2.5, 3 weeks old, we think, something along those lines, so they're not big yet. But because of the help I'm getting, they are a little camera shy. So it won't be a lot of video filming. It's going to be more of this, where we're at a point, I'll show you. We're at another point, I'll show you. And then I'll probably show you running a couple, because the first couple logs I need to cut are going to be bases so that I can get the shed kit that I've got up and ready to go. I got the gravel for it 2 weekends ago, and I laid everything out. I've got to relocate the one shed, and then I got to build the new shed so that I can get all the lawn equipment out of the garage so that I have a free working space in the garage, and maybe I can actually build my utility trailer and things like that. Anyway, I'm getting pretty deep. My hand's starting to shake and shimmy because I need calisthenics. Calisthenics is right? I don't know. It's that one where you just hold stuff for long periods of time. And I get back to work and show you guys when I'm done. Okay, so finishing up for today. It's disgusting. Still traffic. Hopefully traffic's not bad, like audio pickup wise. There ain't anything I can do about it. Yeah, let's see what we got. So where we left off is these were already done. I made the sled handle here, and it's at a 45 degrees, so that's why it kind of looks a little bit off. And I made, I guess this is the sled, or this is the rail system, and the sled will go on top of it. And then those pieces will slide in from this side. And as you can see, it's longer on this side than it is on this side, and that accommodates those pieces. And those hold the log. I got plenty of offcuts, so I should be able to make some stops and things like that. And yeah, so that's where we're stopping today. It's not perfect. For those of you that need these things to be 100% perfect, that's not me. I'm using, lumber that was laying around, so it's a bit wonky. And you got to remember, this thing's going to be stored and used primarily either on site, where I take the logs down, where I take the trees down and turn into logs, or I'm going to transport the logs to my 3-wall tractor barn, and I'm going to do this there. I'm not doing precision carpentry with this thing. It needs to be able to make rough cut lumber to do outside projects. If the chicken coop, if I need to repair the woodshed, if I need to make another woodshed, if I need to repair the barn, or if I need to make something that's just kind of bullshitty and it's going to stay outside forever, I have plenty of green lumber. I know a lot of people don't like doing that, but they did it for 100,000 years, millennia, with not much issue. You just got to compensate for a few things because there will be shrinkage, there will be warpage. You just gotta deal with it and learn. But this is where we're at so far. Probably about halfway done. I got to build the sled and figure out if I'm going to use this cool little threaded rod to pick the saw up and down, or if I'm going to do like a pin method or a turnbuckle. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I'll have to see what I've got on hand. I'm pretty sure his plans call for like a 1/2 inch all thread. I'm pretty sure I got some 1/2 inch all thread. If not, I'm pretty sure I got something bigger than that, and I can just make it work. So yeah, for now, that's going to be part 1 of this video. I'm probably going to end up consolidating it when I get the rest of it. So yeah, I'm just going to sign off now. All right, so it's a new day. Back in the barn working on this chainsaw mill. And I don't know if anybody caught it, but if you did, in the last one, I finished up with the rail set and I put the taper in wrong way out, which, good job there, right? So I got down here this morning. Sorry, traffic. Got down here this morning, reworked that, had to take a little bit off the center supports to get the measurements, close enough to be right to work. I added got an extra set of like outside railing for the sled to stick on. And I guess now it's time to build the sled, but let me show you what I got. So when I did this yesterday, I had these, let's see here. Yep, you see how they taper this direction into the supports? That is correct. Yesterday when I put it together, I had them tapering away from the supports. That is incorrect. Then added these pieces down the side on both sides, and about 3/8 of an inch had to be taken out of these to adjust for the 5/8 inch gap between the low spot and here. Trying not to give too many of his measurements away. Like I say, go by his plans. They weren't expensive. Need a new saw for the table. Need a new saw blade for the table saw. It's getting a little hard pressed in there. But next, yeah, I gotta start building the sled assembly to go in here. Got a pile of parts to do all that, and I got to figure out my rod. I need to do, what's it called? A ball rod, or I think that's what it's called, is a ball rod. I don't remember right now. It's hot, I'm tired, I'm sweaty and nasty, and you know, wonderful summertime projects. So let's get working. Hopefully we can finish something up. Hello again, people. So back working on the I don't remember. It's chainsaw mill. It's hot. I'm sorry. My brain is cooking. It's like, you know, 100 degrees outside. I moved up north to get away from it, and evidently I carried it all with me. Anyway, so we got stuff not set up. I forgot to put things together so I could demonstrate. That's smart. I will pause and come back. Okay, so that was only a few seconds. I don't know, but so I got the sled built. I got the carriage built. I'm going to take the carriage back home with me so that I can set up the saw and everything like that. Because the saw plate, table, I don't know what you want to call it, but the thing the saw actually mounts to, that rides up, that rides on the carriage. That's not part of the plans. You know, there's too many different types of saws out there. You do you, basically. You get everything up to the flat board that needs to be bolted into place to hold the saw. Okay, if you can't figure out how to do that, I can't help you. I don't think he can help you. I don't think anybody can help you. So anyway, let's flip the camera around and see what we got. Carriage. We're going to talk about the slide first. I got the slide on the rails so that I can demonstrate. And yeah, so the slide does slidey things. See? Good job. Doesn't take a lot of effort. I know, yeah, anybody that's perfectionist and watching this is like, oh, it's too wonky to move. It's not, folks. Really it's not. Now let's see if I can do this one-handed with the wrench, because the only wrench I got is a big 1/2-inch drive ratchet. I don't have regular tools down here. We got a little Craftsman toolbox I taught my wife into buying years ago when we first started dating. Anyway, so you build the carriage, takes a piece of threaded rod. Now, what he does in his is he double nuts on this side and he double nuts on this side. He also uses 1/2-inch all thread. I used 12 millimeter because that gives me a 19 millimeter head nut, and I can use the steel scrinches. The big wrench on a steel scrinch is 19 millimeter. So since this is going to be with steel chainsaws, I just decided to do that. You do you. You don't have to. In his video, when he does this end, he counterbores, sets a nut, puts like a big washer or a couple of screws or something to hold the nut in place. I welded a nut to the bottom of that plate, countersunk it into that cross beam. 2 bolts go all the way down into the uprights that are here, and then these 2 bolts on the outside also go all the way down into those uprights. I also bored out, in his plans, this kind of just free floats down here in this spot. I went ahead and bored the hole out, and when I take it back, I'll cut it so that it's flush with the bottom of this board. It just, in my head, it makes a little bit more sense. It's going to keep it a little bit more stabilized. But let's see if you can see it. Can we tell? I don't think you can see it. It is moving ever so slowly. And I dropped the wrench. Oh, because I'm talented. Let's see here. There's a white dot. Let's focus on the dot. Yeah, see? You can see it moves. It's going to be slow. Hold on. Whoa, my hand is in the camera. It's definitely going to be slow this way, and I can convert it to like what he does and use a power drill and things like that. Like I said, I did this for ease of, man, I can't get away from that light. Move my big head right there into the big head. Hey, look, my big head finally came in handy for something. Anyway, so he uses a drill and with just a socket adapter on it, and zzz, in and out, which is fine. Motorize it. And for me, I just wanted to be able to use the most limited amount of stuff. And if I'm running a chainsaw, I've always got the scrunch with me, and I can do that. And yes, for those of you that don't know, at least in steel products, the screwdriver wrench combination tool thing that they give you in all of their stuff, whether you know, doesn't matter what you're getting. If you get that combination tool, some of them have flatheads, some of them have Phillips, some of them have Torx bits, some of them have 19 and a 10, some of them only have 19. You get what you get. It's called a scrunch, screw wrench. I guess, I don't know. I don't work for steel. I just like the products, so that's what we got. Anyway, that's a good day's work. I'm gonna take this back to the house so that I can do the rest of it, because I do gotta, I gotta get the, I'm gonna have to drill through the bar and everything. I'd rather use my drill press for doing that. I'm gonna have to come up with some kind of throttle engagement function, probably paracord or something, but I'll have to come up with something to use. But yeah, so it's going pretty good, pretty awesome. I'm happy with it. So hopefully we'll be able to wrap this up in the next segment. For you guys, it's all going to be one big video. For me, it's been like 5 days, but just figuring it out, trying to get it done, and yeah. So hopefully it'll have a chainsaw mounted to it in the next segment. In the final segment, I'll have it down in the barn, and I'll be able to cut some logs. I just need to flatten the tops of a couple logs so that I can put them on the ground and start building my shed up over top of that. So, well, they're not going straight on the ground. Anyway, I need it for my projects. You build yours for doing your projects, not my projects. You build it to the level of precision and accuracy that you need it, okay? This is not meant for slabbing fine woods for, building quality furniture out of. My wife might take a couple of slabs here and there, but we've got a big planer, and we've got a table saw, and we've got a miter saw, and we'll be able to take the wonkety that I'm doing this with out. But for us, we just want it for raw lumber for doing outdoor projects. Stuff that doesn't need high levels of precision. I am absolutely positive that the chickens are not going to break out a square and a level and find out just how far off I am when I build the chicken coop. I could be wrong. I've seen the trailers for that movie years and years ago where the chickens talk and they try to fly and stuff. But I don't see them doing that. If you need that level though, you do you. Seriously, just get out, have fun, build something, and I'll see you in the next segment. Okay, so obviously new day. I got the carriage done, and I'm getting ready to load everything up so I can take it down, grab all the pieces, get to the logs, and try to cut a log. So let's turn around and look at the carriage. Okay, so again, like I say, my saw is a little small, but it's the biggest saw I got, so I'm going to try to use it. I expanded this piece back here. Originally, it's only, let's see if I got it. It's this one here with all the holes in it. Everybody looking at the floor. Yeah, so you can kind of see, originally it only spans there. I moved it out that far, mostly because the handle and everything. Again, like I said, these base pieces pretty much you just do on your own. Inside a thumb screw, there is a captive nut back there to hold it, and that lets me pivot this out of the way, which this actually provides pretty good tension on here. It doesn't let, I don't know if you can see it, but the whole carriage is rocking. Well, probably not 100% perfect. Pretty level there. Got a little bit of a lean to it on this. Did the best I could. There's just only so much you can do. 2 bolts supporting the bar there. That piece is in. With that, I say the scrunch fits. I don't know if you can tell. It does move. It is definitely, having a power drill. Wrong direction. that's a lovely noise, isn't it? Hadn't been making that noise. Ah, that's good. Needs a little grease. That's what that needs. It needs a little grease. Okay, but you see, it functions. I've got a couple other little doodads to do with the rails and everything, but I should be able to get this moved here soon and try to cut a log. Obviously, it needs some help with like the markings. You know, I don't know. I guess I'm gonna have to cut or mark the log face so that I know where I'm cutting on it. But that's, you know, that's a problem for later. I got to cut a couple wedges so I can try to level things and do what needs to be done. Yeah, get back to work. All right. Well, sorry about traffic. Close to the road. None of my barns are far off the road. So here we are. It's set up down here. It actually was reasonably level. Most of this is just keep it from rocking, but where it's sitting is reasonably level. I got this piece of oak kind of blocked up in there pretty decent. I'm just going to try to take like an inch. I didn't bring anything with me to measure. In kind of a hurry. I'm starting to run out of time, so now I'm getting excited and I'm forgetting simple stuff. I'm going to see about setting this camera up and sorry, I'm sweating. See about setting this camera up and see if I can get some footage of me going through all this and seeing if it works or not. Definitely could use a longer set of tracks. This started out as about a 12-foot length, and I had to cut, I don't know, what is that, about maybe 2.5 feet off of it, and that still puts it, you know, that puts it 8 inches off of the tracks. But that's a different thing. You know, if this works, fine. I can make a track extension later. That's no big deal. Again, you know, 362 probably isn't ideal. I've seen people using smaller and lesser quality saws to do this stuff. I just don't think it's a good idea. I'm on the hunt for either a 400 series. I'd really like to find a 600 series, but I just don't see it happening. They're just expensive no matter what. They're expensive new, they're expensive used, they're just expensive. So we're gonna set the camera up, see what we can do, and see if I can't get this slabbed, at least initially. And I'm getting hungry. It's about lunchtime, and I'm sweating through all my clothes, and I need to take a break. So let's see if we can get this done and wrap it up. Okay, let's see. Hopefully you can hear me. Got the saw running. Took a couple tries. First chain was a little too dull. This one's a freshly sharpened chain. It's doing better, but not by a whole lot. I had put wood wax down on the slides, or on the track and the slide, to help, and I ended up coming back and putting white lithium grease all over everything, and that helped better. I don't know if it's the oak, or, you know, my saw is old, maybe it's getting weak, but maybe it's the way I got it clamped. I mean, it's not moving on the stanchion or anything. But man, it's slow going. It is definitely not as easy as people on the TV shows and whatnot make it look. On the upside though, an old man stopped by and is giving me free filters for the Massey over here, so that's pretty cool. I mean, that's a win. So we're gonna set this up and see what we can get. You guys can watch me fuck around, I guess. Okay, so I got through that. That was more effort than I thought it would be. Things learned. Let's see here. I sharpened my own chains, and I'm less good at it for this type of work than I thought I was. Well, I don't really know that's what it is. But I definitely need more wedges to put in and blocking to keep the log from rolling. The log twisted on me several times just while I was trying to go through. I have to do a lot of cut about a foot, take a couple minute break, let the saw cool down. Cut about a foot, take a couple minute break, let the saw cool down type things. I'm going to order some milling chains and probably if it needs the appropriate bar, I'm hoping I can get away with this bar, but since I've already drilled it, you know. But I don't know that I'm going to be buying, at least for the intro. I think I'm going to do I think actually I'm just going to look at Amazon and see what people say is the best way to go, and buy it that way. But it did make the cut. The cut is not great. I ended up, to get the full length, once I had cut the back end and had come down here to the end of the track, and I ran the saw backwards, pushed the log back, made a stop up here so the log wouldn't move forward, and that did help. That finished it up. I don't remember how long this section is, but that finished it up. That log stop seems to work, but I definitely need something like that on all 4 of them. So I might just put a piece. I think I got a long piece of cutoff in the other barn, and I might just cut it and put it a 45 on it and just screw it down in here permanently so it only goes so far. And that might give me the blocks I need to do other things. But it did work. I mean, it did work, and that's what we were going after. Got to do some minor tweaking, operator error, I'm sure, more than anything else. So that's enough for today. It's disgusting, and I'm done. It's enough for today. But yeah, get out, have fun, do something, build something, be productive, and try not to get yourself hurt. I guess that would probably be a good thing not to do, is get yourself hurt. Yeah, go have fun. See you guys next time. All right, and to wrap up this whole sawmill video thing. Like I said in the last one, I think I said it, I don't remember. I should probably watch those before I re-record things. Anyway, chain was dull. I don't know if I botched the sharp or, I wait until I got a big batch of chains, and so maybe one just, slipped through. But put another chain on it, nice and sharp, it's ripping the boards down. Now it's kind of dark in here. It's overcast today, and there's no functional electricity in here. But you can see offcuts, 2 boards. The logs I pulled were real small. That one I flattened out because that one I'm going to use for something. That one and these 2 I'm going to use for a different project, not just making boards out of them. But yeah, it does work. It is a little slow going. Like I said, I'm just using an MS362. I think it's a 56 or a 60 cc, like 4.5, 5 horsepower. I mean, not bad, but it's probably not ideal, at least from the research I've done. So I'm working on it. I definitely need to get bigger diameter logs than what I pulled for this test run. And I need to get more uniform diameter logs. The ones I got taper quite a bit. So, I need to get something that's a little bit more older growth. These were young growth. They were trees that needed to come down because of where they were. So I had them down. They were going to get turned into firewood, and I figured I might as well just use them for this test. So, like I say, it'll be fine for me. I'm looking at them. Sorry. And yeah, so it works. It does fine. Make sure your chain's sharp. Don't be a knucklehead and forget to sharpen or incorrectly sharpen your chains. And yeah, you probably want to do logs that are good. I don't know. I'm looking at this one. I don't know how big it is. It's probably only about 8 inches across. You probably want to stick with stuff that's a foot across and bigger. Well, and I guess it depends on how big your mill is, but if you want to actually get decent boards and stuff, or 4x4s, you probably want to start with something a little bit thicker. But this is what I had to test, so I'm going to finish testing it, call it a day, and go work on something else. So everybody get out, have fun, and enjoy your day.